Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Valiantys' Introduction to the Atlassian Strategy Collection webinar. My name is Jason Kidner. I am going to be your tour guide through the Strategy Collection over the next hour. I'm an engagement director here at Valiantys. Been here for over 7 years now. I'm also an Atlassian certified professional. I also like to say I'm a strategy collection SME as well. So looking forward to walking through the whole collection with you today. I'm joined on this webinar by my colleague Kristen. She will be posting links into the chat. She's also going to be monitoring the chat and the Q&A as well, and helping you out if you have any questions along the way. This is a pretty straightforward webinar, pretty straightforward agenda. I'm going to start off with a brief overview of the Atlassian Strategy Collection, looking at the different apps, just talking about high-level concepts and how they play in overall with the tools. Then the bulk of the webinar is going to be demos. I'm going to start with demos of Focus and Talent, and then switch to a demo of Jira Line. And then if there's time at the end of the webinar, I'm going to try to answer questions. If you have any questions along the way, you can put them into the Q&A part of this Zoom call, and I will do my best to answer them. If there isn't time, though, I will get back to you soon after this webinar to answer your questions. So yeah, please put them in. Okay, well, let's kick this off then with just some things around enterprise strategy and planning. So Atlassian's approach to enterprise strategy and planning is how an organization sets and operationalizes its strategy through the strategy lifecycle. So the truth is that every organization does some sort of strategy and planning for that strategy. Okay, leaders in every industry are asking themselves the following questions. Okay, do we have the right strategies? Do we have the right people working on those right strategies? Do our goals clearly align to our strategic priorities? And then are we adequately funding our priorities? Okay. Are we investing? Are we placing our bets in the right places? Okay. So commonly the answers to these questions live in a wide variety of various tools that require lots of manual effort to visualize those answers in a meaningful way, and ultimately with real-time data. Can we trust the data is up to date? So enter Atlassian's products, or what they're calling apps now, for enterprise strategy and planning, called the Strategy Collection. So Atlassian launched this strategy collection, this collection of apps at Team 25. So well over a year ago now. The strategy collection is, again, a collection of apps. You can see them here for executives to optimize strategy planning, prioritization, and execution on that strategy. So it connects strategy priorities with work, goals, people, and funds, leveraging all of these apps to bridge the gap between strategy and execution. So currently the apps in the strategy collection are Focus, Talent, and Align. And then you can see here, these are all built on the Teamwork Graph, Atlassian's Teamwork Graph out in the cloud. So they can leverage Rovo, Atlassian's AI app, and we'll get into and show some of that more. So a little bit more in depth into these apps. So Focus is for your real-time strategy visibility. Okay, it's again to maximize your enterprise strategy. Going to be doing a demo of that. The next app is called Talent. This is the newest of the apps in the strategy collection. This is for intelligent workforce planning. Again, as it says here, ensuring the right people are working on your most important strategies. Then there is Jira Line. Jira Line is, you could call it the original part of the strategy collection. It's there for strategic work planning and execution across all your portfolios and programs in your organization. And it works very closely with Jira. There's really tight integration with Jira. You also see on this in the screen that there's something called Enterprise Insights. So Enterprise Insights comes along with Jira Line. It's the data lake for all the data within Jira Line that you can leverage and pull out for AI purposes, for your BI tools, It's really, really helpful. Most clients find it very, very important to use. All right, so let's make this a little bit smaller here. Okay, so let's turn our attention to the strategy lifecycle. Okay, this is one of the key concepts in Atlassian's overall, again, approach to enterprise strategy and planning. So the strategy lifecycle, as you can see here, it's made up of, you can think of it as the time dimension of enterprise strategy and planning. Okay. And it generally, as you can see here, moves through four phases. So you go from strategy to planning on that strategy, then execution, and then evaluation. So this flow is likely not linear. It may even take a different form for each strategy or focus area that you have. But as we carry out the activities necessary in each phase of Atlassian's portfolio of tools, you can see how all these tools like help manage, communicate, and help to also analyze status and progress for each of your strategies. So this is pretty high level, but let's like walk through each of them and just kind of focus on each part of the life cycle and which tools in the strategy collection or the overall Atlassian suite of products would come to play. So first off is the strategy. So this is where you can use things like focus that we'll be talking about with those focus areas that are meant to represent your strategies. And this is where, again, we'll see how you can associate goals, people, work, and funds to your strategies. Then talent, again, is very integrated with focus to ensure the right people are working on the right focus areas. Then we come to planning, where this is where Jira Line and potentially Jira Product Discovery will come into play. Again, Jira Line being part of the strategy collection that we're going to focus on in this webinar. It's where you're going to have all your work really from all the way up to themes down to features. We'll talk about how stories are then come in from Jira, but that's where you really have your top-down planning and also your bottom-up execution and progress. So we're going to get into depth there. Jira Product Discovery is not part of the strategy collection. It's another product in the Atlassian cloud that many clients are really looking into to help with their product development. And so the planning part here is where Jira Product Discovery could help with the intake of different work items to help as part of your strategy. Then for execution, this is where, again, Jira and Jira Line come into play. Your teams are working in Jira. Down at the story level, doing their sprints, all that work is rolling over to Jira Line and rolling up, and you can see progress all the way up through your different work items. Then evaluation, this is where we get into the data. And so we have focus. Again, we can see how things are moving along, which things are on track up at those strategies. There's also tools like Atlassian Analytics, which is Atlassian's BI tool that comes with its enterprise tier of products for Jira and Confluence. You get Atlassian Analytics with that enterprise tier, and that can pull in data from both Jira, from Jira Line, and to help with custom reporting and evaluation. Then, as you can see here at the bottom, there's other apps within the Atlassian ecosystem like Confluence, Loom, Atlassian Intelligence, and Rovo. Again, as AI strategy is coming more and more into every enterprise's day-to-day work, Atlassian certainly has much support for AI within its tools. So before we get into the demo, let's just talk a little bit about the who, what, and where. So let's talk about people and work and time and how the different tools, the different apps of the strategy collection play in here. So starting at the top, we have the people. We have your executive teams. Okay, these are going to be the audience or the personas mostly working in focus. Again, that's focus again is where your strategies and your high level over like your long-standing strategies are going to be at. So, and these tend to last for quarters, if not years. Then as we work our way down the people hierarchy, we come to the portfolio teams. This is what these teams could potentially be touching into focus, but then they're really going to be primarily working over in Jira Line at those that portfolio layer of Jira Line where you have your initiatives or epics, whatever you're calling them. This is where, again, you can even have the theme level in Jira Line that are going to be quarters or years, down to the epics initiatives that could be, again, quarters, potentially years as well. There is a layer in Jira Line that you can use for solution teams as well. That's an optional layer you can turn on or off. That could be working on these capabilities, things like that. And then you get down to the program teams. The program teams meaning the team of teams working on the features that typically are meant to be planned out for quarters or planning increments. They're going to be working in Jira Line. But then those program teams also potentially are starting to get into Jira. But Jira is definitely where the delivery teams are, whether they're Kanban or Scrum teams, working on stories, potentially tasks over in Jira, working in those weeks or those sprints, those iterations over in Jira. So that's how this all tends to fit together. Okay, so now we come to the demo, the more interesting part of the webinar. So we're going to start off with a demo of Focus. So I'm going to switch over to our Focus and wanted to highlight initially that Focus and Talent, they're going to show up over in the Atlassian Cloud. And so they just layer in here like all the Atlassian Cloud apps do underneath one of your organizations that you've set up. Potentially you're already using Jira or Confluence, maybe JSM. So once you purchase the strategy collection, Focus and Talent will show up as part of the collection of apps that can be managed. You can, again, decide who can have access to these, just like you do for all the other apps. But under the app switcher, you can now see, I can switch now between Jira, Confluence. I now see Focus showing up. I see Talent showing up amongst all the other possibilities out here. Again, if you're new to the Atlassian suite of apps, we have other webinars that showcase these, but you can start to see there's many apps out here. We're going to touch on goals, projects, a little bit teams. There's a lot of different interconnections or integrations with Focus, especially with these other apps that are part of the Atlassian Cloud. And Jira Line, as we'll see, is with another URL, and we'll show you how to get to that. So when you come into Focus, you have a pretty typical UI here where you have the left-hand menu. You'll see this with all the Atlassian Cloud apps. So you start off with a For You area. Again, this is where you're going to see the focus areas you care about, whether you're owning them or following them. You can see which ones are on track, at risk, which ones are off track, basically kind of seeing a high-level dashboard of all your focus areas. And you also see a running activity list of the changes happening to all the focus areas that you care about. So you see that you also have a recent area, things you've been to recently, a starred. This is typical of again, all the Atlassian apps where you can favorite or star different work items, or in this case, focus areas to get back to very quickly. Then the heart of Focus is focus areas. We'll touch on that shortly. Notice that there's also some new beta features coming into Focus. Strategic events and asks are in beta. I'll touch on those a little bit, not real in depth, as they're still being developed and worked on, but you can start to see where Atlassian continues to evolve the product. And then you can also see some quick links to goals, Atlassian projects, and talent as well. And you can customize your sidebar. At the top, there's the search bar that you're going to find for all the Atlassian cloud apps that allow you to search really across all of your Atlassian cloud apps, even as you have set up your Rovo with other connectors to outside products. You can search on those like Google Drive, Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, things like that. You have the create button. This is where you'll be able to create your focus areas, strategic events. Also, you can create asks and goals from this as well. You can see that Rovo is turned on in this demo environment. Rovo, again, is Atlassian's AI agent. So this is where you can open this up. Doesn't look like it's set up fully, or there's some issues here this morning with Rovo. We'll talk about Rovo a little bit more, but there's a lot of agents that can be set up. This is certainly a very one of the most popular parts of the Atlassian cloud, where Atlassian, again, is making a lot of investments and bringing the data from Focus and Talent and the other Atlassian cloud apps into the teamwork graph, which then Rovo can leverage for searching and agents to take actions on. There's a notification bar, which is typical of the cloud, where you can see updates being made real time out here. There's a help area, and then there's a settings. I want to just jump into this to show you some of the Focus admin settings. The main area out here is the hierarchy, your focus area hierarchy. So you can see here we have I guess, fairly typical or a starting point for a hierarchy for this demo, where we have company strategy down to business unit strategy, product strategy, execution strategy. Okay, you can customize this. You really have 10 layers of hierarchy to work with to make your focus set up exactly the way you need it to be set up with this parent to child relationship. Okay, so that's really key out here. You can set that up. You can also set up custom fields. We don't really have too many custom fields set up out here, but you can add custom fields to your focus areas. You can also decide on your fiscal year. When does that start? And there's other integrations that we'll touch on again, how you can connect this focus to goals, talent, teams, Jira, Jira Line, Atlassian projects. So a lot of different integrations with focus. And yeah, a number of other things out here. There's starting to be some new things coming into funds as well. We'll talk about funds shortly, but there's different customizations out here. And then the other thing I wanted to touch on too, actually, is just permissions. This is where you can also control the permissions around the groups that have access to Focus. So you can set those up. It gets pretty granular. They keep adding these in as they add in new features. You can turn on or off permissions for your groups. All right, so let's jump back into the main part of Focus, which is focus areas. You can see when you come into focus areas, you have some different tabs here at the top. The main one is all focus areas. Again, all the focus areas that are out here within the tool. And then you can also look at just focus areas you're the owner of. You can see focus areas you're following. You can set up some custom views for focus areas and see any archived older focus areas as well out here. And then there's some ability to search for focus areas, some text searching, and there's some also filtering around status, owner, type, goal, like the goals. If you care about a specific goal and which goals are aligned with focus areas, you can search on those as well, and following and archived. You also, in this view, this is, I would call the list view. You can customize it, meaning you can add or remove different fields as part of this. You can also toggle between this list view and this map view, where the map view, again, is kind of shows more of your, like a family tree, where you can see your high-level company strategies. And then when you can drill into one of these, you can click on this to see any sub-focus areas. Let me go back here. So you can see here, I can go down a level to each of these levels to see what are my, the different focus areas at each level. And I can also even drill in and see I've got sub-focus areas here, and I can just look at one particular part of this tree of focus areas. So that's available in the map view. But coming back to the list view, let's go back to this higher level. So I can see my list view where I start off with those high-level company strategies, and then I can expand and drill down into any of the sub-focus areas. So you can see here, again, I have a 4-layer hierarchy, and this is one example of how you can go all the way down to an execution strategy. And you can see the different fields here listed, the different columns for those. So let's drill into one of these. I'm going to go for this demo, Release AI Meeting Notes MVP in Q2. So when you click on a focus area, there's a lot of information here, and it's all organized with these different tabs here at the top. So let's run through this UI. So in the summary view, you have, again, kind of a high-level dashboard of how things are going. What's the summary of how the goals are coming along? How's the work related to the focus area progressing? Positions and even costs or the funding related to this focus area. You can also see things that might need attention, the latest updates to this focus area, and any activity. So essentially like an audit log of activity down at the bottom. At the top, you can see the status of the focus area. This one happens to be off track. You can also see some of the other statuses that come with focus that you can pick and choose from. You can see the timeline or the target date. In this case, there's a quarter shown. Notice you have different options. There's a fuzziness to it where you can go from the quarter all the way down to a specific month or even to a specific day. This one's set with a target for the current quarter that we're in right now. Then you can follow or unfollow this. Maybe you're not the owner, but you want to follow it. You want to receive notifications on any updates made. This is how you would basically subscribe or follow. You can share these. You can also use, again, Rovo to summarize. Again, Rovo's, oh, there we go. So you can summarize the focus area over here. So this is where Rovo starts to come in, some opportunities with Rovo. And then this is where you can star, unstar. There's some other abilities to export, delete, archive. So, but let's get more into, oh yeah, before I jump into these other tabs, just note you can see who the owner is. You can see the users who are following this. You can see what type it is and any sub or parent focus areas here. The next tab is the About tab. This is where there could be a high-level description related. It's rich text. You can improve writing. You can leverage Rovo again to make it shorter, polish it, translate it. So opportunities with Rovo to help you with the About. The updates, this is where you're going to be posting updates, you as the owner or the stakeholders here, to give, again, real-time updates. This could potentially reduce the need for slide decks, other things that are spread out, status reports, things like that are spread out. This is where people can come for real-time status updates and history all in one place. There's a tab for goals. Not going to go too in depth here. This is leveraging where the goals that come with the Atlassian Cloud and how you can create goals, and you can also link goals or align goals that already exist to a given focus area. So you can see here, I have the focus area I'm in, and I can see there's one particular goal set up underneath this, and it looks like this goal even has a sub goal. I can see some information around the progress being made with the key results or the metrics that are set up here, target date, and you can click into a goal and you start to see a frame appear over here, so I can see a little bit more about this goal. And again, without going too in depth in goals are they're a whole other thing where you can, similar to focus areas, where you can add updates, you can align goals with Atlassian projects, with Jira Align work, with Jira work, similar how you can align focus areas as well to work, which I'm going to show you shortly. But you can also see how you can add progress, you can add metrics, which gets into the key results for your goals that you can start to track out here as well. So that shows you the integration with goals. Then we have the work tab. This is where you're going to be able to align work items to a focus area, one or more work items. You can see here that we have a work item, and if I hover over it, you can see more information around this. This is an epic that is over in Jira Align. So you can align work items from Jira Align here. This looks like a work item from Jira. This is an initiative over in Jira. And you can add in different work items here. So this shows you the opportunity where you have Jira, Jira Align, even Atlassian projects, if you happen to be using those. and want to align those as well. So you can add those in here. They'll show up and you can see information around the status of those work items and how those are contributing, again, to the focus area. And there's lots of filtering as well. And then all these, whatever work items you put in here, again, based on the status that they have, you'll be able to see those at a high level summary view at the top. There's a positions tab. This is where you start to see the integration between focus and talent. Again, talent, we'll touch on that shortly. Talent's where your workforce planning is and your positions are. And then you can see here that based on the decisions made over in talent, you can align people or the positions with focus areas. So you can start to get a picture of all the positions, all the people, maybe all the unfilled positions that are needed to accomplish a given focus area or given strategy. And so again, you can start to see the UI, how you get this high-level summary of all the positions, how they break down it by location, by tenure. As I scroll down, I can see the positions that have been allocated to this focus area. Looks like I'm allocated to this one. So you can see that integration from talent start to play out here into focus. Then we have the Funds tab. This is a newer tab that's showing up. Funds has just gone to general availability, rolling out across the different focus apps as of July 2026. And so Funds is where, again, you can start to bring in funding around costs, also for benefits as well. So for costs, as I scroll down, you can add in a budget, an overall budget for 2026. You can add that in here. You can also add in baselines. You can add in actuals, remaining forecasts, and forecasting. So you can see all of this out here. So if I scroll down here, notice you can see cumulative cost or monthly cost. If I scroll down further down here, I don't have any baseline set, didn't set that up yet. Still looking into the opportunities to leverage funds. It's again, a very new feature within Focus. But as you scroll down here, I can see I'm set up to see my cost areas. I've set up one that's just set up as a forecasting mechanism, and you can choose which type of cost it is. You can look at different categories. Looks like you can probably set up some other subtypes. There's expenditure where you can note things as CapEx, OpEx around categorized. And as I scroll over, this is all set up for fiscal year 2026. But this is where you can start to see where you can put in baseline and actuals. And this is really an aggregation of what you've set up over here. So for each month, you can set up a baseline or an actual cost. Again, the baseline meaning what you think, what you're forecasting the costs to be as the year goes on, and then you can put in your actual costs. And if you have the baseline and actuals, you're going to be able to start to see a variance, see where your forecast was and where your actuals are, and how are you trending with your cost. And the same thing goes for benefits. There's a benefits tab. So in a similar way to costs, again, you can start to put in the benefits you're achieving on a month-by-month basis. Again, even starting with forecasting or baselines and how you're doing with actual benefits over time. So all that's starting to come in here. So hopefully you can start to see the vision for how you could use funds for both budgetary purposes and then also to see how the benefits you're achieving. So you can start to see, do I have to make changes? Do we want to invest more? Do we want to add more people or take more people away from a given strategy? So that's the Funds tab. You can also see there's some new beta tabs here. There's one coming in for reports that allow you to create reports over in Confluence and link those here. And there's an Asks beta. I'll touch on Asks shortly when we look at that part of the tool. But you can see how Asks, there's an ability or an evolving ability to allocate asks to focus areas. Okay, so that is a wrap up of the focus areas. And then before I move on to talent, just real quick, there's a newer beta feature here within Focus called strategic events. Won't go into depth here, but strategic events are really meant to be represent a planning period, like an event that includes proposals and changes around budgeting or around people for an upcoming period, like a PI or even a year potentially. So you can see here we have one that's meant to be for demo purposes around financial year 26 Q2 planning. So when we open this up, you can see that these strategic events are made up of what are called proposals, okay? And the proposals, as we'll look into here, you can add one or more proposals to one of these events. And I can see here that these proposals also have their own statuses, they have their own impact. And proposals, as we drill in further, let me open up one of these actually to see what they all hold. So a proposal is made up of what are called changes. And changes can be anything from requesting more positions, requesting more funds, potentially you're moving positions, or you're even moving funds from one focus area to another. Okay, so this again is where maybe for the upcoming, as we're planning for our next PI event, we're looking at all the different positions we have, all the funding we have, and maybe we need to make some changes between focus areas or potentially add more people or more funds to this. And these proposals can also be aligned with goals and work as well. So again, kind of a vision for you can have an event, again, with different proposals, and those proposals are then made up of those changes related to funding or people. And you can start to see how these can all be set up, drafted, and either approved or reviewed, maybe not, maybe rejected. Lots of different statuses out here for each of these. So again, that's in beta, still being worked on. And then lastly here in focus, there's something called asks. You can think of asks as a way to highlight or represent a dependency of one team on another team. So asks, again, these are very new, but you can see here, let me look at this one. So when you're creating asks, they have their own workflow, but the idea here is that you would have a team, in this case, Team OBC, Team 1, that has an impacted item, one of the things they're working on. They need help from another team, in this case, OBC Team 2. So again, this is meant to represent that handshake, that collaboration, that commitment from one team to the next, where they're submitting it, they're asking it to be reviewed, again, for the one team to commit to it, to help the other team as well, and ultimately to be accepted. And you can add in description, justification. Why do we need this ask? Why do we need help from one team to the other? Okay. And as you can see with all of these things in focus, there is a workflow and there's also a target date as well. All right. So that is focus. And then we did touch on talent. There's not as much to call out with talent. But again, talent is here again for intelligent workforce planning. Ideally, talent is going to be set up using your HIRS tool. There is a connector available for Workday. I don't know about connectors to other potential HIRS tools that are out there yet, but there's definitely support for Workday. And the idea is that you would bring in that data from your HIRS tools with your positions, with the people filling your positions, okay? And then talent is there now within the Atlassian ecosystem to show that, and then to allocate your people and your positions to given focus areas. So talent again has a similar UI with focus, a little bit more simple, and the main part of talent are what are called positions. And as we click on positions, again, similar UI as the focus areas we saw. You can see all positions. You can see positions by reporting line. Again, you can see kind of the hierarchy here. You can also see by focus area. So you can see the focus areas that have positions allocated. You can see those listed here. And you can see the roll-up. There actually was some allocations, again, down at that demo focus area I showed earlier. And you can see how there were some three positions and how those positions roll up ultimately and aggregate up to the parent focus areas. And there's also the ability to do custom views of your positions. Going back to positions, you can see again, they have their keys. They're filled by people, or potentially they're not filled at all, and they're noted that they still need to be filled. And you can adjust the columns shown out here, but you can get a sense for, are they filled or not filled? Are they aligned and allocated to a focus area or not? Who the managers are, what teams are involved from the Atlassian teams, the levels, lots of other fields that could be filled in. Then there's a lot of custom fields, again, that you can bring in from your HIRS. And if we were to open up one of these positions, you can see a little bit more about what the position is, where it's located, and then who's the worker, who's the person filling that position, and their tenure, their start date, and any allocations for this position, again, over to focus. So you can see a lot of information here, but the idea, again, you're bringing in the positions, the people that are filling those, and then you're seeing how those are being allocated across your different focus areas, which people need to be moved around potentially, that sort of thing around, again, those strategic events, those proposals. So this, you can start to see how this all starts to tie together. So again, not as much to show with talent, but you can see how it integrates very closely with focus. All right, so let's move on. I'm going to Jira Line. Before we do that, we're going to just want to highlight a couple of things here about Atlassian, or about Valiantys. We are an Atlassian Platinum Solution Partner. So we are very tied into the Atlassian ecosystem, very knowledgeable, high expertise with Atlassian, great relationships with Atlassian. In fact, we're the 13-time Atlassian Partner of the Year. Might actually be more than that, since from this past team event, that might have gone up actually. We work with, and again, this might be out of date, but we work with at least 65 of the global Fortune 500 work enterprises. We have a full stack development center of excellence. We are Atlassian's first global partner. Again, we have people all over the world with 24/7 global coverage. How can we help you? We professional services is what we're all about, with consulting around the Atlassian ecosystem, or also with any transformation pain points you're having that we can look at and help to work with you as well. We also do licensing with Atlassian, so we can certainly help you with that. We also, again, have that full stack center of excellence to help with any integrations, any custom development needs, you name it. We have an amazing group of engineers and technical people that can help with anything you could possibly imagine, including working with Rovo, with AI opportunities, you name it. We also have managed services as well to help optimize the performance of your products, or help with hosting, help with services, advisory services on an ongoing basis. So we could definitely talk with you about that. And then we also have training. Besides these webinars, we also have public trainings. We also curate many different private trainings for companies as well, with all the different Atlassian products. And also including Rovo, including Forge, again, some of those more development focused areas of the Atlassian cloud. Okay, so again, if you have any questions about the strategy collection, if you have any questions about any other services that you're interested in looking for Valiantys to potentially support you with, again, just reach out to us. Again, Kristen's going to give my details in the chat of how you can reach out. I'd love to talk with you further. All right, back to demos. So the rest of our time here is going to be looking at Jira Line. So let's go back to our demo environments. Okay, and we come to Jira Line. Notice again, Jira Line shows up here. It has a different URL than your other Atlassian cloud products. This is hosted on the cloud, but it's not tied in just yet with the Atlassian cloud. So it is in some sense a separate product, but it has very tight integration with Jira. So you can see here when you first come into Jira Line, you come to this home page. Oh, by the way, Jira Line can be set up with the same SSO strategy that you're using with Jira, with Confluence, with your Atlassian Cloud products. You can set it up that you can log in with the exact same credentials that you do for your users to go to Jira and Confluence and Focus. So when you come out to Jira Line, again, you come to this home page that will show you recent rooms you've been in. It'll also show you your starred or favorited places within the tool. At the top here, you have some drop-down menus. The main one is going to be this Teams drop-down. This highlights the different layers of scale within Jira Line. So Jira Line is really great to highlight your portfolio down to potentially a solution layer, but you can go from your enterprise layer at the very top down to your portfolio layers. Notice you can set up more than one portfolio if you're that large of an enterprise. We have we have 6 set up out here. Under a portfolio, we have set up in this environment, we have programs set up. Again, you can put in a solution layer in between the portfolio layer and the program layer, and you can rename these too. There's a lot of terminology changes that can be made within the tool. So, but you can see here we have portfolios that are made up of various programs, and those programs can be expanded, and you can see the teams underneath the program. And these teams, programs, portfolios, they can all be managed. You can add members with their roles. So you can, that's a really cool opportunity that clients love about Jira Line. So there's also a product module within the tool that can be set up with products that you can then add to your features, and you can set up and start to manage products out there. There's a custom room drop down. This is, again, an optional part of the tool. You can turn it on. It allows for essentially these custom hierarchies within the tool that don't just roll up to a given program or portfolio, but you can put in like essentially some other tagging to one of these custom rooms that can let you see a backlog or a hierarchy around a specific custom hierarchy. So that's available. You can, again, see different rooms and see those out here. The items dropdown allows you to go quickly to the work items available in the tool that you have permissions. Again, there's a lot of permissioning in Jira Line that you can control which roles in your company can do which things in the tool. So I can see everything out here as an admin. Then you have the create button, again, that allows you to create all those different work items that you have permissions to create. There is personas that you can put in here, searchability, notifications. There's some checklists you could potentially leverage to highlight different parts of the tool as checklists for your users, like PI planning, which things should they walk through to get ready for PI planning. There's help. There's a whole huge Jira Line admin area, and there's also a profile area that most tools have. So I want to look at what it looks like to do the top-down planning, getting ready, let's say, for your next PI event. So for that, you would go to Teams, and I want to start off with the portfolio layer. So I'm going to jump into this digital services portfolio and highlight the opportunities here at each of these layers. So the portfolio layer, as you can see here in this left-hand menu, this is where your epics, your portfolio epics live. Also have themes out here if you happen to need that layer of work as well. Notice you come into a portfolio room. This is a high-level dashboard that shows the roll-up of work being done at the portfolio layer. And notice again, the tool is built around these teams around the portfolio. We'll get down to a program team as well. And then program increments or planning increments, whatever you happen to call it. The tool is very much set up with that sort of time box hierarchy. And that's really key for all your filtering of the work you want to see and the work you want to plan for. So this one is set up for PI 5. That's the current PI that is set up within this tool. So everything is going to be filtered now around this PI and around all the programs, all the work that happen to be rolling up to this particular digital services portfolio. So there is a new Epic grid that I want to showcase here. This is one of the newer parts of Jira Line that Atlassian's investing in. where this is a much more newer look and feel grid where you can see all the epics out here in like based on this filter. And there's lots of different columns you can bring in and out as well. You can see all the opportunities here. There's filtering on all the different columns. You can also save a view, which again is a newer feature, really, really popular feature. You can save a view out here. And you can also share that view so others can get to it as well. When we open up one of these epics by clicking on the title or the name, you can see there's lots of opportunity to add in different tabs, different fields within an epic. This is definitely the most complex work item in Jira Align, but it centers around the details tab. That's your main tab out here. Let me make this slightly bigger here, where you can have your name, your description, lots of different fields available that you can customize the names of. But I want to just highlight the real key part of Jira Align for any work item is you're adding in at the epic level, you're adding in a primary program, and then you can also add in additional programs. So you're not just limited like maybe in other tools to one particular program or one particular project. You can reflect all of the programs working on a given epic out here. And then as you scroll down, you can also add in more than one program increment. Again, an epic typically would be probably at least two, if not almost, four or more, like a whole year's worth of work at the epic level. That can be reflected out here as well. And as you can see here, there's support for WSGIF, there's support for estimation, whether that be t-shirt sizes or story points, team weeks, things like that. So a lot of things out here under the details tab. There's other tabs. I can't go into depth with these, but there's the ability to create an intake form. There's a benefits tab to highlight, again, some of these out-of-the-box fields around the benefits you're trying to achieve. There's a value tab to help you with custom scoring of the value you hope to achieve. This could help potentially with your prioritizing of work. Milestones is a newer tab you see at the epic level. You also see it at the feature level as well to add in a particular due date. You can add in multiple milestones on these work items. There is support within Jira Align for spending for financials. Again, it's not meant to be your financial system of record, but it does have the ability to help with budgeting, with forecasted spend, estimated spend, accepted spend. Again, centering around the idea of a cost per story point that could be then rolled up across different programs and portfolios based on your estimations and actual story points being worked on and accepted. So there is the ability for that within the tool. And there's some newer functionality with forecasting to help with demand capacity, with thinking through who's going to be working on these work items for your different programs, even down to the team level. So a lot of different things at the epic level. A couple other things I want to highlight here in the tool. At each layer of the tool, there is a backlog. This is where you're going to be doing that stack ranking or prioritizing of work. So I can see here, there's 33 epics planned for PI5. I can see those 33 epics listed here. This is where I can potentially do dragging and dropping, reordering these to develop the stack rank. I can bring a lot of different columns in here as well, and even do some bulk stack ranking by clicking on a column and sorting by like WSGIF or potentially that value scoring I talked about earlier. You can use those to help with a bulk prioritizing as well. Out here in the backlog too, there is, besides the list view, there's a Kanban view that allows you to look up and set up a particular process flow or workflow for each layer of work you have. In this case, I'm looking at the epics. So when I'm in this process flow view, I can expand this and I can see an epic Kanban board where I can see each of the process steps for the epics to roll through. And I can see where each of those happen to be, ultimately trying to get to that done column. So that's a Kanban view of the work out here. This is only shown in this in the backlog view. So lots of different things. Again, we have to kind of run through pretty quickly in this webinar, but happy to talk through more about the possibilities of all these different things in Jira Line. So each layer of scale also has a roadmap view. Notice this is marked as new. This is a really nice new part of the tool, this new roadmap view that you again can decide where am I going to start, which work item am I going to start with. I have this set up for epics first. So this allows me to see the epics. Again, based on this filter, I can bring in different fields here. I can filter on fields similar to that new epic grid. But this is also where I can start to see the timeline. If I were to put in some start and end dates on these epics, I would see timelines appear. And I can bring at the top here, I can bring in, let me show this timeline more. I can bring in all of the program increments, and I can even bring in the anchor sprints as part of these as well. So I can bring in a lot of different information here. And oh, here we go. There's the timeline for some of these that I'm seeing. And if milestones are entered in for those epics, I can start to see those milestones, and I can click on those and see those on my roadmap view as well. So a lot of cool opportunities to see the timeline view. There's also the ability to add in objectives and key results in Jira Line as well. So you'd probably want to choose whether you're going to do it here or whether you're going to really leverage focus and put the goals in over. Okay, I think we're back. All right, so we left off, let me get this set up here. So we left off with looking at the portfolio layer of Jira Line. So again, I was just highlighting that there's an objectives, an OKR hub, where you can set up objectives and align those objectives with your epics. You can put key results under those objectives as well. As we scroll down, again, don't have time to really get into this, but there is a whole area at the portfolio layer and at the program layer for forecasting, where you can forecast against epics. Down at the program layer, you can forecast against features. So, and there's the ability to even look at capacity for your teams that would roll up to your programs and your portfolios as well. And you can start to see how your forecast is tracking with your capacity. So again, different parts of the tool that I've seen clients use, some choose not to use, but they're all out there to help your enterprise. So then that's at the portfolio layer. And before we drop here, I want to get down into the program layer as well. So I'm going to go under the digital services portfolio down to the mobile program. And down here at the program layer, this is where the features are living. So again, imagine you're getting ready for a PI planning event. So you have your features that you're creating out here, thinking that you're going to be working on. If we get into one of these features just real quick, you can see they have tabs, not as many tabs as the epics had, but they have a details tab where for features, again, you're meant to be picking one primary program, not more than one program. And this is where you can see how you can align these features with Jira. So you have a Jira Space tab that you would fill in to have that feature then sync over to Jira. That's the highest layer of Jira Line that would sync back over to Jira so that the Jira teams could then work on put stories underneath those features over in Jira. And features also have a design tab, milestones, a spend tab, a forecast tab, and they have their own, again, process steps that you can set up a special workflow for your features that you can, again, align with your workflow over in Jira. Features again, then once you're creating those features, you're deciding, are we going to work on those in a particular program increment? And once you can use the backlog again to decide and see all the features you're planning ahead for. And this is also again where you can do that stack ranking. There's also the ability again to go over to the Kanban view to see the process flow Kanban for your features as well. There's a roadmaps view. I won't get into that, but there's also down at the program level something called the program board. This is what a lot of teams, especially those using SAFe, would be leveraging, again, for their PI planning to see the teams in a given program, to see the work, the features, namely, that are being planned for a PI. And you can assign those programs to one or more teams to be working on. So you would do that here in the program board. And then those teams at the end of PI planning would come into their features and they would be clicking on their features and giving those features a target completion sprint. When do they think they're going to be committing to be done with a given feature? They're part of the feature. So that can all be done out here. You can also see that there's opportunities to visualize dependencies. Those show up as a Chevrolet or chevron. You can also bring in objectives at the team level or program level. And there's lots of color coding out here to represent planning issues or risks to those particular work items. So again, you're planning your features out here. You're also in Jira Line, there is support for dependencies. Again, can't go into depth here, but dependencies in Jira Line are really that representing that collaboration from one team to the next. So one team would be needing help, having some impacted feature. They would need help from another team. This dependency is meant to be that work item in the middle to represent that commitment between teams. That one team is committing to finish their work for another team. And so that's all tied in here, lots of fields to represent all that. And then you can also, that team that has to do work can put in the assigned work items that they're working on. And that, again, would be visualized out on the program board. So there's support for dependencies. There's also support for risks within Jira Line. You can see here, there's risks that have support for the Roam reporting. And there's lots of different fields out here set up for risks. And again, you're meant to try to get those to be mitigated and resolved. But you can see how you can add risks in here. And those, again, would be tied to your features, potentially tied to a whole program increment. And those can be reported on. And then lastly out here, again, you can set up program objectives. You can also set up team level objectives within the tool that can align for a PI, that can align to a particular feature in this case. And then you can start to see, you can put value, planned value, delivered value, how you're tracking with these, how you're accomplishing all of these as well. So again, support for all these. And again, those all would show up on your program board. And the idea again is that this work, the features are going over to Jira. The teams are then planning their sprints, creating their stories, potentially subtasks over in Jira. And that, again, all that work rolls back and is synced back into Jira Line. So you can start to see a whole aggregation from your stories to your features, all the way up to your epics. And then you start to get into execution of your PI. The program room is a great dashboard at the program level to see how you're doing in a given PI, how things are coming along, where you're at which sprint are you in, how are you progressing on all the features that your program is committing to delivering on in that PI, and lots of other widgets here in this dashboard. There's also room, lastly, just want to highlight reporting. There's lots and lots of reports that come out of the box within Jira Line at each layer. And if some of these do not meet your needs, you can create custom reports, and you can embed those custom reports into Jira Line. And you can see here, we have some custom reports set up. And let's look at this epic status one. As I click on this loads in, and what this is going to load in is actually a report that was created with Atlassian Analytics. And you can see how that can be shared over here and leveraged within the custom reporting part of the tool. And I've seen other clients bring in Power BI or Tableau reports into the tool as well. So that's a lot to share, a lot more to potentially cover with Jira Line. Would love to hear more about any questions you have. So that wraps us up. I think any questions, hopefully you've put in questions in the Q&A. We have run out of time to get to those, but I will do my best to get back to you on those after the webinar. And just again, to highlight, if you do want to reach out to me, you can use this QR code. You can also find my email address here, jason.kidner@valiantys.com. And I know Kristen has been sharing lots of other links to other opportunities for training and our YouTube channel. So again, thank you for bearing with me with this. Hopefully you've learned a lot and would love to talk with you more about the strategy collection. So thanks everyone. Have a good rest of your day.